Hi everyone, I'm Nithin and welcome back to PSLE Science, and today I'll be going through reproduction in animals important questions. Okay, let's get started. Okay, for question number 1, I'm going to ask you, what happens when the umbilical cord is not well developed? How would this affect the fetus in the mother's body? Okay, let's take a look at this question. Okay, so the answer is the developing baby may not be able to receive enough nutrients and oxygen for growth. Waste materials and carbon dioxide may not be also be able to remove from the baby's body efficiently. This will affect the development of the baby in the mother's womb. So, basically, what they are trying to say is that the umbilical cord is the one that transports nutrients and oxygen to the baby, right? And it also takes out waste materials and carbon dioxide from the baby, right? So, if the umbilical cord is not well developed, it may affect the transmission of nutrients and oxygen and the removal of waste materials and carbon dioxide. Okay? So that's the concept over here. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, for question number 2. Are the children with the same set of parents genetically identical? Okay, let's take a look at this question. Okay, so it actually depends, as identical twins are formed from the same set of sperm and egg. Remember last week I told you, right? So imagine this is the egg over here, and then two sperms come at the same time over here, and then they will actually split the egg into two parts, and then there will actually be two nucleus in the egg after the split. And so this is baby 1 and this is baby 2. So those are identical twins, okay? And non-identical twins are like basically there are two ovaries, right? And they give us the eggs at the same time. So there are two eggs over here, and then the baby goes here. So the sperm fertilizes both eggs, and then these are not identical. Okay, so now let me read the answer. So as identical twins are formed from the same set of sperm and egg over here, they are genetically identical. However, children who are formed from different sperms, so here different sperms and different eggs, okay, regardless of whether they are twins or not, are not genetically identical. Okay, so this is the answer over here. So you need to know the concept of twins. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, now we are at the third question. Why do animals like turtles and crocodiles usually lay many eggs at a time, while animals like deer and foxes only give birth to a few young at a time? Okay, do you remember I actually told the answer to this last video? I talked about this to you guys when I was talking about the externally fertilized eggs. So let's just do this again and see whether or not you remember. Okay, so the question over here, now let's answer it. So laying many eggs at a time actually increases the chances of some eggs that would not be eaten by other organisms. So for turtle eggs, right, like the eagles will actually steal the turtle eggs, and thus turtle actually lay a lot of eggs. It's not that they'll steal the eggs. Sometimes they will steal the eggs, and most of the time, right, is when the turtle are hatched, right, and they are walking towards the sea, right. The eagles will come all those other organisms will come and take some turtles for their eating, okay? And so only some turtles reach the sea and not get caught by other organisms, and that's why only some of them live and most of them actually dying. So this is to actually increase the chances of the some eggs that will not be eaten by other animals. So the fertilized eggs would then hatch to form young and develop into adults to reproduce, ensuring the continuity of their kind. So it's a cycle, okay? And some animals, such as mammals, give birth to only a few young at a time, as they take care of their young. Hence their young will have a higher rate of survival, and the adults will not need to give birth to many young at a time to ensure the continuity of the kind. So basically, mammals and reptiles, right, they actually mammals and reptiles, right, when they give birth, right, they actually give birth to only a few young at a time, because they will take care of their young and they will have a higher rate of survival, and the adults will not need to give birth to many young. That's why, to ensure their continuity of their kind. So remember, whatever question, right, involving things living on, right, you have to mention the ensuring of their continuity of their kind, okay? Because that's the important phrase, and especially for these types of questions, okay? Now let's move on to the next question. Okay, for the fourth question, why are many sperms released at a time? Okay, so why are many sperms released at a time? Okay, releasing many sperms at a time increases the chances that at least one sperm will be able to reach the egg. The sperm can then fuse with the egg in the process of fertilization, allowing the fertilized egg to develop into a baby, ensuring the continuity of its kinds. Okay, you have to know something, okay? Why are there so many sperms? Like, isn't releasing just one enough? Because, right, for the sperm to travel from the vagina to the fallopian tube, right, it's actually like a human, right, from Singapore over here to go all the way to Europe. So that's how long it is. And not only that, you know, the woman's body, right, is actually very acidic, and thus many sperms die on the way getting there. So a less acidic female body is better, but we don't know whose body is more acidic or less acidic, right? So that's why we have to that's why the males have to release many sperms at a time to increase the chances that at least one sperm would be able to reach the egg, because it's very hard for even one sperm to reach the egg. So all of you people watching my video, right, you are that one sperm who reached the egg out of all the millions and billions, okay? So you're the winner amongst all of them. So this is what we can say about releasing many sperms at a time. So only one sperm can fertilize the egg, but at many times that's not the case. Two can fertilize the egg, and sometimes, right, you know, there are two eggs, right? This is like a very weird scenario over here. So imagine you're having 4 babies at once. So basically, right, I've seen this happen to my friend's mother before. So basically, right, there are 2 sperms fertilizing this egg at the same time, and 2 sperms fertilizing this egg at the same time, and that creates like 4 babies to grow in the 9 months of gestation period. So this is a very special case. Okay, now I hope you understand this, and now let's move on to the next and last question for this video. Okay, for question number 5, why do males have 2 testes and females have 2 ovaries? Okay? So, the males actually have 2 testes because if one of the testes is damaged, right, and the other testes can still produce the sperms, and the sperm can fuse with the egg in the process of fertilization, ensuring the continuity of their kind. And when one ovary is damaged, right, the other ovary can still produce eggs, and the mature egg released by the ovary can still fuse with the sperm in the process of fertilization, allowing a baby to grow, ensuring the continuity of survival. Okay, so this is an important question. Many of the times they will ask this. Okay, so with that, I'm coming to the end of this video, and I hope you understand all the important questions and all the knowledge you need to know. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.